funny. I'm really excited to talk about today's video because I just recently watched K-pop Demon Hunter. I'm so overwhelmed how amazing this video was. I didn't expect it. I was like, no, I'm not gonna watch it. It seems like it's a meh. I don't know, like from the outside. But I decided, wait, it's a movie. It's like 130-hour long movie. And I was like, I'm gonna watch it because it's not that long, so why not? And so I watched it and it really caught my engagement. It really was probably the best movie that I've ever seen. And I was completely in shock. The animation, the characters, and the music, and everything about this movie was everything that I ever loved in the movie. And I am shocked. Oh, and by the way, I'm dressed as Mira. And yeah, she's like the cutest character ever. I did the hair, the wig, and yeah, it's perfect. I'm absolutely shocked. I think the movie did well than I expected, and it reminded me of other movies that was quite interesting to me. The movie kind of reminded me a little bit of Frozen, and the music reminded me of Let It Go a little bit. Like the high note, the powerful voice, the friendships was amazing. It reminded me of Frozen. The whole scenes, the aesthetic, it was all put together so nicely, and I recognized how beautifully, everything was beautifully shot. And the zoom ins and the zoom outs to the music and her voice and her like facial expressions, everything from the angles, I think it made like such an appeal and it really engaged me. I just was like, oh wow, like everything looks so engaging and pretty, and it goes along with the music. It's almost like the movie was kind of like dancing in such a very, very well put way, and I loved it. It just really got my attention. And I noticed this movie kind of reminds me a little bit of like magical girls and like idols, because I know I grew up with that, but I think they were inspired by that. But it reminds me of a little bit like Sailor Moon, Magica Madoka, and just animes like that, but mixed together and made in its own unique way. Magical girls hunting demons and being K-pop stars with their friends. That's amazing, and I loved that we got to see the world of an idol, and that was really, really interesting. And I felt like in such a short movie, I got to get to know all three of them really well. I know Rumi was the main character, but the other two, they were so cute. They were like outgoing. I felt like you could like relate to them in such a way, even though it was like not a long movie, you could just already tell that you could just be friends with them. I really liked Mira's story. She was like expressing who she was, you know, she's blunt, and I really liked that. It made me feel like, wow, I could really understand their characters. And Zoe, I noticed her personality is so much like mine. It's very up, high beat character, and she's super outgoing and cutesy, and I feel like that's kind of like my personality in a way. My favorite character personally was Rumi, and I loved her character because she's so badass. She's like this idol and a demon, and she could just like defeat all these demons, and she's really cool. And her hair is really cool. It's purple, and she has got that braid, and her singing and her walking down the aisle and doing the dance with the music, it's like that was amazing. Golden is like such a powerful song, and I really liked the message of the movie and the music. It made the song even relatable even more. There's something about the movie and the story that made the song even more powerful, and I think that's why it got so much viral right now, and everyone loves it. I love it. I keep singing it right now. I'm obsessed with it, and I keep like singing all over the place, and I'm like obsessed. I want all my friends to watch it. I already told one friend to like watch it. I've already told another friend to watch it. It's like a cute movie. I haven't seen a movie like this in a while. Like I don't see movies with new concepts anymore. This was a definitely new movie, new concept, everything like that. What's really interesting is that it wasn't on movie theaters. I kind of wanted to see in movie theaters. That would have been even more cooler to see other than Netflix. And if they can make a second one, that'd be so great, and put it in the theaters, because seeing it on a big screen would be kind of cool, you know? That movie was so good that it deserves to be on a big screen. I noticed something interesting about this movie. It reminded me of Turning Red a little bit from a, Disney's movie. They did the whole boy band, K-pop sort of aesthetic, but it didn't do as great as the K-pop Demon Hunters, I think Turning Red was like a little, the story wasn't so appealing, and I think Disney tried to get into that audience of like K-pop, boy bands and everything. To me, I didn't think it did well. And I hope Disney learns from this. I hope Hollywood learns from this, or, you know, like these movies are doing really well. K-pop Demon Hunter Slayers is doing really, really well. So who knows if Disney is gonna ever make a movie kind of like this. If they dive in and actually care about their audience, that'd be so cool. But anyways, I wanted to go in because like I noticed this music, I have insights. I noticed the music did really well. So did the Saha boys. Saha? I called Saha, but I think Saja. I saw that the insights of the song, it got a huge hit. Both the Soda Pop song and the Golden song. Also, I wanted to mention the Dun Dun song, the Dun Dun, I forgot what it's called. That was like one of my favorite songs. It was so cool when she was like defeating the demons and that song came on. But let's get into the music. So here's an insightful update. So K-pop Demon Hunters, Saja Boys, Your Idol, peaked #1 on the US Spotify Daily Top Songs chart on July 3 through 4th, 2025, making Saja Boys the highest charting male K-pop group ever in US Spotify history, surpassing BTS's Dynamite, which peaked at #3 in 2020. Reached #3 on the Billboard Global 200 week of July 19th, 2025, while Soda Pop was entered the Global 200, peaking at #6. Other tracks like Soda Pop also charted on Spotify US Daily, #10 and top 20 globally, showing widespread popularity. And Hunter X's Golden and How It's Done, which is a really good song. Golden hit #2, then climbed #1 on US Spotify Daily Top Songs, instantly tying and then surpassing Blackpink's record as the highest charting female K-pop group on Spotify US. Crazy. It debuted at #6 in the US Billboard Hot 100 and later reached #1 on both Billboard Global 200 and Global, I don't know if I'm supposed to rate this, in the week of July 19th, 2025. On Korea's Circle Chart week 30, July 2026, Golden achieved a 6-crown victory, topping 6 different charts, including digital, streaming, and ringtone charts. How It's Done, another track by Hunter X, also charted high, peaking in the daily top 10 Spotify US and in the bubbling under Hot 100. I don't know what those others meant. Why this is a big deal, the soundtrack debuted at #8 on the Billboard 200, marking the highest debut of a soundtrack in 2025 and the highest for an animated film since Across the Spider-Verse in 2023. Multiple songs from the album appear in Spotify's daily top 20 US chart, showing viral engagement and simmering fan obsession. These fictional groups are unpending industry norms. Interviews with music culture analysts say they outpace real K-pop stars, demonstrating the power of fictional animated idols to spark global fandoms. K-pop, not to mention K-pop, crazy that we would make a K-pop movie based off of K-pop and the music and the culture and Korean pop and everything like that. Isn't that crazy? And like anime, it was kind of insane to me, like the references in the movie, the interview from the boy band and the girl bands. Okay, insights about the movie when it came out now and how well it did. The animated musical fantasy K-pop Demon Hunters premiered on Netflix on June 20th, 2025, directed by Maggie Kang and Chris Applehans. It follows the K-pop girl trio Hunter X, who lead double lives as demon hunters in a vibrant myth-inspired world. From release to records, why it's so huge right now. Viral viewership growth. Despite a modest opening 9.2 million hours in its release week, viewership kept climbing each week, hitting a peak around 5 to 6 weeks later launch at Netflix first. By July 21st through 27th, it drew 26.3 million views, making it Netflix's most watched original animated film ever. Total streaming views surpassed 130 million hours in under 2 months, overtaking previous records like Leo 2023. Critical and fan acclaim. Critically, it scores 94% on Rotten Tomatoes, and user approval is similarly high, around 92 through 97%. Metacritic praises its mix of music, visuals, action, and heart. Why it became a hit. Genre mashup magic. K-pop aesthetics meet supernatural fantasy with stylized animation inspired by music videos and Korean folklore. Authentic cast vibes. Performances by Arden Cho, sorry, I don't want to say it because it's so long, but it's a few of the creators, casts, and more help sell both the emotional core and pop star energy. Music forward storytelling, original songs feel like chart hits and objectively are with huge chart success worldwide. If you guys are curious, is it Americans that made this movie? And that's something that I was curious about because I was wondering, is this like Korean made or like American made or something, right? Who made K-pop Demon Hunters? And it's a beautiful collab between American and Korean creators. Who made K-pop Demon Hunters? Production country, United States. It's an American production, but it's deeply inspired by Korean culture, music, and mythology. Studio, Sony Pictures Animation. Same studio behind Spider-Man Into the Spider-Universe, co-produced with Netflix Animation. So if you recognize the whole stop motion looking thing and it reminded you of Spider-Man, yeah, that's why, because Sony Pictures Animation is the studio. And that was crazy to me because I noticed that too. I was like, huh, I didn't even think about it. I was just like, huh, that's very familiar in the movie. And directors Maggie Kang, Korean-American director, also worked on the Lego Ninjago movie. Chris Applehands, my bad if I said that wrong, American animator, director of Wish Dragon. Writers, the screenplay is by Jessica Ko and Joy Regulano, both Asian American creatives with comedy, music, and animation backgrounds. Voice cast includes Arden Cho, multiples, sorry I didn't want to say all the names because I didn't know how to say it. So it's a global cast of Korean and Korean American stars. Cultural impact, even though it was made in the US, the film was created by Asian American storytellers who wanted to celebrate K-pop Korean myths, girl power, and fandom culture, and they absolutely nailed it. So yes, it's an American-made movie, but the heart, music, cast, and spirit are deeply Korean and K-pop inspired, which is really cute. So is it an indie brand? And that was something I didn't really know about. Yes, it's an American-made animated film, but heavily inspired by Korean pop culture and mythology. It's not an indie project like Amazing Digital Circus. Instead, it's a big-budget studio production by Sony Pictures Animation in partnership with Netflix Animation. It's not an indie movie. How an American studio pulled off such an authentic K-pop experience with real idols like Twice, Saja Boys, played by K-pop stars, and all the Korean pop culture flavor. How did K-pop Demon Slayers get real K-pop stars? So how did that become a thing? They worked with real K-pop producers and choreographers. Sony and Netflix didn't just guess K-pop culture, they brought in the industry experts. Yeon Sung, a legendary K-pop composer-producer who's worked with SM Entertainment artists. Leia Kim, choreographer behind iconic Twice, Sunmi, and Mamamoo dance routines. Oh, you know that, right? It's a TikTok trend dance. Gerard Gibson, US songwriter who's written for EXO, BTS, Monsta X. These pros designed the fictional groups Hunter X and Saja Boys to look, sound, and dance like real idols. They collaborated with real K-pop idols. Twice appears on the official soundtrack. The song I Got You from their Real 2024 EP was used as a nod. 2024 was used as a nod to their real world stardom. The voice actors for Saja Boys are real K-pop vocalists, which helped make their fictional songs feel authentic enough to top charts. Ooh. Even though the Saja Boys and Hunter X are fictional, the music was composed with real K-pop stars and mixed by the same sound engineers who handled top charting groups. That's why the songs slap like they came straight from Hybe or JYP. Wow, okay, that's really good to know. They really focus on that detail on actual K-pop stars, which is kind of crazy. How did they nail the K-pop Korean pop culture vibes? The creators were Korean American and super immersed in fandom life. Here's what they brought in. Mythical demon hunting plot, Korean folklore like Gumiho or ghost hunting legends. And if you're a horror fan, you'd be excited to hear about this because that's kind of interesting. I gotta learn more about that because I love horror. I think that's like the folklore that they have in Korea, which is kind of crazy. Makeup fashion choices, K-beauty trends and idol styling, shiny lids, cool tone lighting. Oh, did you guys notice the makeup in the movie? Oh my gosh, that's why I kind of like tried to copy the glitter. Oh my gosh, that was like the cutest like little close-up in the movie that I noticed. Practice rooms, just like K-pop documentary scenes, mirrors, sticky notes, intense dance prep, fan chants, idol culture, scenes mimic real fan behavior, online voting and standing. And I really like those little props that they had during the stage. That is so Korean, by the way. Music video shots framed like real K-pop MVs with slow-mo, light flares, and power poses. I totally see that, and I saw that throughout the whole movie too, and I noticed that. I thought that was like the most unique and detailed thing I've ever seen in a movie. That's just so crazy to think about. I wanted to point something out. Leia Salonga, she's a Filipina singer, but she was involved in this movie, apparently. So, Leia Salonga's role in K-pop Demon Hunters and how real K-pop idols and references shaped the film. Leia Salonga in K-pop Demon Hunters. What was her role? Serenity Queen Leia Salonga lends her singing voice to Celine, the former demon hunter who mentors Hunter X and raised Rumi. Why is it so iconic? She's a Disney legend known for voicing Jasmine in Aladdin and Mulan in Mulan. So her cameo, though brief, adds a major musical prestige to the movie. She's like in everywhere. Leia Salonga, it's crazy that she got involved in this movie too, because she was like, I think, involved in Frozen too. Twice and real K-pop artists. Twice members Jin, I can't say it, it's in Korean, and I can't pronounce it, so sorry, performed the movie's anthem Takedown for the soundtrack, giving the film real-world K-pop legitimacy. Other real K-pop singers lend their talents. Ije voices Rumi, Audrey Nuna voices Mira, Ray Ami voices Zoe, Andrew Choi voices Jinu, plus Sam Lee, Kevin Woo, Nick Wav, and Jenny Chung handles such a voice vocals. So how the K-pop and Korean culture was built in. Music created by top producers like Teddy Park, Kush, Danny Chung, IDO, and Ido Ajay. Same team behind real K-pop hits. Story inspired by Korean mythology like Gumiho legends like the ghosts, mixed with idol fandom culture, practice rooms, choreography, fan chants, MV style scenes, etc. Korean American creators like director Maggie Kang and cast featuring Korean and Korean American talent add authenticity and respect to the cultural representation. Those are all the things that I wanted to point out about the movie, because I noticed all these really cool aspects about it and I loved it. And I feel like the music especially tells, like, I feel like people can just gravitate to the music and feel and related to the character. But also like that, I feel like the music, Golden especially, it makes people like just feel so personal with it and have their own interpretation with it. And that's how I felt with it. I was just imagining other things with the song, like Never Giving Up, or like a story in my life that I related to. That song was very heartfelt and deep, and especially the character where she's fighting through these struggles of her hiding herself, and she was able to be free from that. I feel like I want to free myself from hiding from myself, and that was very inspiring for me to watch. Also, the Saja boys in the end was really interesting when they sung the music. What's that song? They were like demons in the last part of the movie, and they were like hypnotizing everyone. And the song was very like in Christianity. That song really fits because like idol worship and everything like that, it's condemned in the Bible and everything like that. When you idol worship, you're so immersed in these idols that are not God and everything. It just gave like a Christian vibe to it. Not Christian vibe, but where Satan tries to lure you in and take your soul, and they love your sin and everything like that. That's what it reminded me of. I was like, oh my gosh, like that sounds like real life right there. The girls, oh my gosh, they're like the angels of the movie, and they fight it off, they rebuke it, and I love that. In a way, it kind of shows you that power through a movie, and that these girls and their faith can defeat these demons and all that, and I loved that story. And for me, it relates to me in my Christian aspect. It's just a lot of really great, deep storytelling that you can relate to and learn from and everything. So I really loved it, and I wish more movies were like that. Like after this video, I probably might just like think about like, oh, I forgot to say something because I didn't really think about it during this filming. Like usually when I film, I always forget something to say, but this was such a fun video. I really loved this movie. The music, I'll probably be listening to this over and over and over again. And also, you know what's really cool? David Guetta, an EDM artist, was apparently collabing or producing some of the music for Golden, which is kind of cool. I like to go to raves, and I love trance, EDM, and everything like that. So knowing that was really cool. So I, at the same time, was like, oh my gosh, that's cool. And also, it's really cool is that song, when it just came out, it's been played all over like festivals and raves already, which is really cool. And there's remixes of it in in EDM version of it, and it's like, oh my gosh, people are really getting into the song, and everyone just like vibes and gets excited to hear the song, and I love that. So you know what's crazy is that I went to Anime Expo while this movie came out, apparently, or it did came out during that time? I don't remember, but like when I went to Anime Expo, it was like July 4th through like the weekend or so, like around that time frame. That movie like kind of came out, and people were already cosplaying the characters, the wig, the braids, like the actual outfits already, and like I was just like, oh my gosh, these people already made cosplays for this. It was incredibly detailed, and I really liked seeing everyone's cosplays. And I also saw videos of people doing the dance at Anime Expo, so that was kind of like shocking to me that people already been, you know, on this already. But I started watching this like 2 weeks later. I'm a little late, like I was a little later. I won't regret it now, because I was just like, oh, this movie seems like it's all over my feed. I'll watch it, I guess. Because like I realized it was like a short movie, so that was really great. I think that is it for now. I don't know what else to talk about. So if you guys loved that movie, I need to burp. If you guys loved that movie, leave a comment down below and why you liked that movie, why you liked the music, why you felt for the movie, everything, like just how you feel about it. I want to know, because I love to hear what you guys have to say about this, because this is probably like one of my favorite movies ever. And I hope to talk more about like movie stuff on this channel, and I like to do other things like travel and do nerdy stuff on this channel. So if you like that, check my stuff out, subscribe as well, and I'll love ya. I'll love ya. Thanks guys for watching. I love this movie. I'll probably cosplay it someday. But yeah, thanks everyone for watching. See you guys in the next one.